Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the first episode of the Link Up with your host, your boy, Ron, aka Ron the Don, aka Drip Santana, aka Mr. Prada Dundada, Black Dick Rick, whatever you want to call me, I'm fine with. I'm excited. This podcast has been a long time in the making, and I'm just glad that we finally here. Let's get it going. First off, want to introduce myself, talk a little bit about myself. Obviously, white American man, single father from Iowa, holding it down for the boys back home. Why do I podcast? Well, I've been wanting to do this since COVID started, and I kind of missed the wave a little bit, but it's okay. We here now. I got very important people in my corner telling me I could do it, telling me, it's going to be a hit. So that's what it's going to be. And that's what we're going to make it. So, buckle up, enjoy the ride, and we're going to get it started. What I want to do with this podcast is just reach out to as many people as I can. I've been blessed to meet a lot of people in my life, so you'll be seeing them throughout this podcast, hopefully bring a lot of them on, conversate with them for you guys to enjoy, hear a lot of stories, a peek back on the curtain in life. And I just really, very excited about this journey. Excuse me. Some of my interests include basketball. I'm a big Miami Heat fan. We're going to get into some of that later. A big wrestling fan, specifically WWE. We're going to get into some of that later. I love music. It's a lot going on in music. We definitely going to get to some of that later. And I have a background in psychology. I actually have my bachelor's, currently going for my master's. And so you're going to be hearing a lot of like just conversations, giving advice, me being a people person and just like, relating to people on all levels. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, tune in. And with this podcast, that's all I want to do. Reach as many people as I can, show love, where it's needed, show love that's given to me back, to those that love me. And that's what we're going to do. All right. So to kick it off, I mentioned basketball. Your boy, he's a big Miami Heat fan. So, if you're a Miami Heat fan, you might love this podcast. You might not. I know it's some people out there delusional. Y'all like, y'all, we lost versus Boston. Trade the whole team, trade Bam, trade Jimmy, trade Hero, trade everybody. And I know it's people like me, more realistic, knowing that it's just the little things that this team can do. And so we're going to get into that right now. Recently, there's been rumblings, ever since the Heat got eliminated by the Boston Celtics in the first round in 5 games, that Jimmy Butler wants an extension. Now, of course, we know he made this known last summer when Jaylen Brown got paid. He said he wanted Jaylen Brown type bag. And, for us Heat fans, that's a little worrisome. I'm not going to lie. Jimmy, my guy, but, he been in and out of the lineup. Of course, he's getting older. He got hurt this past, play-in, 2 years in a row in the play-in. So it's like a lot of, Heat fans are unsure. And Miami is unsure themselves. We hear a lot of rumors coming in from Windhorst, Anthony Chang, Wojnarowski, saying that it might be a little standoff between Miami and Jimmy Butler on this contract. And understandably so. Hopefully after this, season, it didn't work out the way Miami probably wanted to. But, there's always chances to get better, whether that's, with or without Jimmy Butler. In my personal opinion, I feel like Jimmy's getting older, but if you feel like you can win with Jimmy, which Jimmy's proved that he's a winner at the end of the day, getting older or not, he's going to be effective on the court when healthy. You do extend him, 2 more years, only he's going to be making a little bit more money per year than he does now. As long as you retool, the team around him, I feel like it's worth it. It's worth it to do. Jimmy leading scorer on the team. I know some people feel like Bam is the best defensive player on the team. I agree with that. But when it's time to play, Jimmy brings the defense. So I just feel all around like Jimmy is there to help the team, and Jimmy is the reason that Miami is in the position that they're in, where people believe that they can win it all, when healthy, when they have the right team. The past problems, the past couple years, as we saw this season, is the lack of scoring. We thought Tyler Hero was going to take a step. We thought, the way Duncan Robinson looked this season, that he was going to be big in the playoffs, but he was hurt. Terry Rozier, we traded him for Kyle Lowry. We thought, he was going to be the answer offensively. And clearly, we saw how that happened. And Miami didn't really stand a chance outside of game 2 and got sent home by the damn Boston Celtics, who, nobody likes. For you Boston fans that might watch this, nobody likes you guys. You make it hard to like you. So it is what it is. I stand on that. But back to Jimmy, I feel like the Heat should extend him. Especially if you go in this summer and retool the team. Maybe you bring, Donovan Mitchell in. Maybe you bring in Kevin Durant. Maybe you bring in somebody who can elevate this team to a new level. Who knows? I know some may feel that it's far fetched, but you never know what could happen. We did get Jimmy Butler by trading Josh Richardson, so you never want to doubt this front office. I know it's rough. Me personally, I guarantee that we bring in somebody to South Beach, and we definitely gonna do better than last year for sure. Bam taking another step. You know, Jimmy gonna be here. Whoever we acquire this summer, they gonna elevate the team. Whoever we keep, they're gonna be better next year. Hero, whether he starts or a 6 man, hopefully he's better next year. And you know, that's just how I feel. He culture, baby, he lifer. Moving forward, right now we do have the NBA playoffs going on. Uh, if you were able to watch, it was an incredible game tonight between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets, in which the Minnesota Timberwolves, shocking me at least, stole game 1. And, you know, that man, Ant-Man, that man Anthony Edwards, beast. I see everybody saying that he's like the image of Kobe, the image of Jordan. I'm not ready to crown him yet. He gotta at least make it to the conference finals, NBA finals, but he damn sure on his way. The man just dropped a 40 ball against, you know, the Denver Nuggets, the reigning champs, 43 to be specific, and the man looking scary. I'm not gonna lie. I had Denver taking this series in either 6 or 7, but tonight left me. I don't know. I'm kind of doubting it. You know, and like it's just crazy how this game turned out. It was very back and forth, but the problem that I kind of considered all year is like Denver's depth. Like, yeah, they lost only Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, but they were key pieces on the road to a championship last year. Vets that's like been in the playoffs before, played in big games, and now, they're relegated to Christian Brown, who was on that playoff run, Zeke Naji, who didn't really get much playing time last year. Um, and then you saw tonight, if you did watch the game, that, Mike Malone switched it up and went with, rotation, including just Reggie Jackson and Justin Holiday for the most part coming off the bench. And you can see Denver struggling with their depth. And then on the other side, the Timberwolves have a lot of depth. They got, not just Anthony Edwards, Cat, Gobert, you got Jaden McDaniels. You got Alexander Walker. You got the Sixth Man of the Year, Nas Reed. Who I like personally, the Man of Beast. You just got all these weapons at their disposal, and it's definitely gonna be a good series. I'm not counting Denver out. I'm not saying the Timberwolves are for sure gonna win. I believe the Nuggets are gonna bounce back like they always do. One thing about Mike Malone, uh, he get turned when he get drunk, and that man also know how to motivate his team. Trust me, as a Heat fan, I know, man, he never let the Nuggets get too down or too up. He kept them balanced. And so I feel like they're going to be able to turn it around. I'm also curious to see all the other matchups across the landscape of the NBA right now in the playoffs. You have the Dallas Mavericks meeting the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round. I feel like that's going to be a great series. Luka and Kyrie versus SGA and Chet, SGA, J-Dub and Chet. I feel like that could potentially go 6 or 7. Earlier this year, I predicted around the trade deadline when the Mavs got Gafford and PJ Washington that, I thought they was going to the Western Conference Finals. It was going to be them in Denver. And I still think that. I love both teams, OKC and Dallas. SGA is that boy, potential MVP, but I see Dallas taking it right now. You know, and then in the East, I'm liking this showdown with the Knicks and the Pacers, who are soon to meet. I think on Monday, we really gonna find out who is the better guard, whether it's Halliburton or Brunson. Um, I feel like that's gonna go 6 games, maybe 7. And then also, those damn Celtics. I'm no hater. They good. It's gonna be tough without Porzingis. You're gonna have to rely on like Luke Cornett and Al Horford to get you through, but I feel like they could beat the Magic or the Cavaliers, whoever come out of that series. I'm low key rooting for the Magic, trying to bring Spider to the Heat. So, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic. Oh, yeah, we riding with them boys, the Franz and Mo, Paulo, Suggs, Fultz, Cole Anthony, them boys gonna get it done. That game is taking off tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock PM Eastern time. I think them boys gonna get it done. And, Spider Man, you just dropped the 50 piece in game 6. Got no help, bro. You need help. Miami and Jimmy Butler need help. I'm just saying, Pat Riley, man, make it happen. If y'all need me to go to the airport and drop somebody off and pick Spider up, I will do that, bro. Just let me know. Like, if Spider come into the Heat, I know people might say I'm delusional, but anything can happen. Like I said, Josh Richardson for Jimmy Butler. That's all I'm saying. Don't give me no Dame. Don't give me that Dame talk either. Dame was definitely different. Man's only put one team on his list, and I already knew that wasn't gonna go good. Plus, he had more years on his contract. Donovan Mitchell only got 1 year left on his contract, so I feel like it could turn out different because he can kind of determine where he want to go a little bit more. Stepping away from the NBA a little bit, I don't know if anybody is excited as I am, but WNBA soon to take off. They're in preseason right now. The number 1 overall pick from Iowa, Caitlin Clark, just dropped 16 in her debut game in the preseason. Everybody is saying that, including people in the W, that it's gonna be a struggle for her. It ain't gonna be easy. I'm not one of those people. I think she gonna do pretty good. Gonna be rookie of the year, and she gonna have a good career. Uh, I think seeing what she did at Iowa with Hannah Stokey, I feel like now that she's with Aaliyah Boston, it's gonna be even better. The pick and roll. I'm also excited to see the new Twin Towers down there up there in Chicago, uh, Cardozo and Angel Reese. That's going to be quite the tandem. And so I'm excited for that to kick off in the next week or so. Um, so yeah, we definitely going to be talking hoops on this pod. So if you into that, definitely tune in the future. Let's see what else we got here. Another thing I'm also interested in, wrestling, man. I'm a big wrestling fan since I was a little kid. Anybody that know me will tell you that boy Ron, he swore he was gonna be a WWE wrestler when he was growing up, but I wanted to be the next Jeff Hardy. I'm talking about, climbing on the couch like it's a ladder, diving off, going crazy. So definitely gonna be tuned in. Actually, if you tuned in like me, they had Backlash in France today. One hell of a pay-per-view, man. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, you gotta go check that out. The crowd was crazy, the matches was crazy, like everything was crazy. Like, just to do a little review here, the first match started on 10. You had Solo Sikoa and Tamatonga representing for the Bloodline, going against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. You thought it was going to be a traditional tag match. You was wrong. It started off with chaos. GM Nick Aldis, SmackDown GM, came down, made it a street fight, and then just took off from there. I'm talking about in the crowd, all over the arena, on the announce table, on the floor. It was crazy. That definitely was the match of the night for me personally. So I definitely say check that out. The match ended with Kevin Owens doing a suplex off the top to Tamatonga on 4 steel chairs. And as soon as he went for the cover, Tamatonga's brother, if you follow New Japan, Tongaloa, he came out, made his WWE debut, and interfered and helped the Bloodline win. So that's definitely something to look out for. Boy, I swear that family tree never ending. You got the ones that's in WWE now with the Usos, Roman, Rock, Solo, Nia Jax, Tamina, and now Tamatonga, Tungaloa, and just everybody. You still got Jacob, you still got Zilla, you still got Hikuleo. So this story probably gonna go on for generations until they kids have kids. With the way this family tree going, they just, I don't know, them Samoans get busy. But yeah, and moving on to the next match, we had the tag team championships, women's tag team championships, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus the newly formed tag team of Bianca and Jade Cargill. This was definitely a good match. Had some ups and downs through and through, but definitely a good match. I'm excited to see the new champs, Bianca and Jade. I'm excited to see what they do with their reign. How this story is gonna play out. I definitely think Bianca is turning soon, so it's just something to be on the lookout for. Then there was the women's WWE Women's Championship match with Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. And this match is a perfect example of why WrestleMania should have been in London this year and not Las Vegas. Because no offense to Naomi, I actually love Naomi personally, but she ain't getting no pop like that in the States. Like, the French crowd was amazing all night. They was turned for Naomi and everybody else, and it was a good match. Bayley retained her title in a triple threat match, pinning Naomi in a roll-up pin. Then you had the World Heavyweight Championship match, main event Jey Uso, Yeet, versus that boy, your World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest. This was also a good match. I definitely wanted Jey to go over, but unfortunately he couldn't get it done. Every time this man have a championship match, it's just interference after interference. And Damian Priest, because of that interference, walked out still your world heavyweight champion. And, you can see them planting the seeds, everything going on with him not needing the Judgment Day's help, getting mad at Finn and JD. You see Dominic Mysterio out here flirting with Liv now, cheating on Rhea while she, sitting at home. I ain't gonna lie. That boy Dom going crazy. Rhea and Liv? That boy crazy. Nothing but respect. Dom, nothing but respect, bro. Keep it going. Keep it going. Latino Heat Jr. for real. Latino Heat Jr. for real. But and then we had, our main event with your newly crowned as of WrestleMania 40 WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes taking on the phenomenal AJ Styles, one of my personal favorites. And this is definitely lived up to the hype. It was a great match. The crowd was into it the whole time. And, it was back and forth, back and forth. And ultimately, Cody got it done. His first title defense in the books, and he came out still champion. Definitely recommend going back and watching that match if you haven't. And so, overall, good pay-per-view at Backlash. Like I said, the match of the night was, for me, was the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. And I'm curious to see, what happens next with all of these storylines, with Jade and Bianca, with the Bloodline. Who's going to be the next challenger for Cody? There's so many. What's going to happen with Damian Priest and the Judgment Day? So that's something to tune into. That's something we also going to stay locked in here on the Link Up. If you're a wrestling fan, we definitely going to have, shows about that too. So stay tuned in, stay locked in with us. All right. Now, it's time for, the main event right here. One thing I'm very passionate about is music. I used to make music. I listen to music every day. Definitely, helps me keep going in life. And so, I definitely love music. And so with that, I'm going to introduce a segment on here called Song of the Day. And today is a special day. It's a 3-way tie. You got Family Matters by Drake, which is a single he released today. Not soon after that, you got Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. And then also you have Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. And that's your song of the day today. And to get into that, this Kendrick and Drake beef has been crazy, bro. It's what the rap game needed. I remember earlier this year, everybody was saying hip hop dying, pop and country taking over. Not no more, bro. Not no more. And before I start that, to give a little insight, I'm definitely a light skin. Drake and J. Cole, my favorites. They making us look weak right now. Kendrick got a nigga wanting to turn into Meek Mill. Pause. No Diddy. I might have to cut that out when I edit this. But the way Kendrick doing niggas right now make me want to say, get up. I'm talking about, bruh. As soon as my dog Drake drop a song, he dropped Family Matters, I'm like, yeah, this the one. Drake really talking that talk. Kendrick 30 minutes later, drop Meet the Grams. He talking that talk. Then later on in the day, drop Not Like Us. He still talking that talk. And Drake was really pressing this man last week, saying why he ain't dropped yet. Bro, I think he regrets saying this. And J. Cole, to be one of my favorites, my nigga dropped the diss and then apologized. It's not looking good for us right now. man. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love Kendrick Lamar. The man made great music. He definitely, you know, one of the top artists of this generation. Some people put him as the best out right now for a reason. And definitely, with them bars, it's definitely serious, man. I just feel like, you know, right now Kendrick is definitely up. Drake gon' Drake gonna have to do something. I know he says it's a 20v1 and everybody coming for his top right now, but it's tough out here right now. Drake, bro, you gotta represent for the light skins, bro. Like Kendrick got your number right now. He pulling your card right now. Drake, you gotta do something, bro. Or you gotta quit, bro. It's not looking good right now. You gotta just throw in the towel. Like I'm pretty sure the feds coming to Drake's house at this point. This nigga Kendrick saying he a pedophile. He basically calling him Diddy. Yeah, he definitely get raided soon. I mean, probably not in Canada. I don't know what they do up there. No offense to them, but I just, I don't know how that go up there. But man, the stuff Kendrick saying, talking crazy. Saying Drake got a daughter out there somewhere. It's tough times out here, man. That's how I get, bro. Y'all mention the man kids, y'all mention the man family. It get tough out here, bro. But yeah, we definitely gonna be keeping up with that. Look forward to more songs of the day, and we just gonna be talking about uh, everything going on in music. Not just hip hop and other areas too. I like all music. Not too big on country, but I'm getting into it. You know, uh, Jelly Roll, Morgan Wallen, they definitely be snapping, and so we definitely gonna get into that. Like I said earlier, definitely want this to be a show for the people. Right now we in the beginning stages, but as we grow the fan base, definitely want to connect with you guys. Get your feedback, whether it be negative, positive. I just want to hear what you guys like, what you don't like, what should stay in. And with that being said, I put out a poll today on our Instagram asking, we gonna be giving out free advice or answering any questions that you guys may have. Try to do that every pod. I do have, a degree in psychology, and my goal was to be a therapist. So I do like helping people. I'm not just, you know, doing that just to do it. I do really want to get to know you guys and everything like that. So, with that being said, we put out a poll today, and we did get one question. I basically asked like if you need advice, let us know, and got a comment on that saying a little insight into life and marriage, and so yeah, I know obviously I was joking about being a white man for Iowa. I know you can't tell the difference. We look practically identical, but yeah. Um, I am married. I am a father. Uh, my son about to be 2. So, like, as far as advice on, you know, life and marriage, to answer that first part, for me, life is what you make it. For me personally, I'm very religious. So I feel like if you are a religious person, you definitely want to use that as balance, you know. Uh, so like me, I get up, pray every day, read the word every day, and try to be a better version of myself. Like I know I'm not perfect. I know I got a lot to work on, but that keeps me going. That keeps me balanced. Not getting too big headed, not getting too low on myself. Come back and pray, keep that balance in my life. And so I feel like With that, using that as a basis and a foundation and a balance to your life, that's a big step. Even if you're not religious, just finding something that's like a balance for you in life, I feel like is very important. And I also feel like, taking life one step at a time, one day at a time, like, you have your goals, you have your aspirations. I feel like, you know, planning that stuff out and taking it one day at a time, making sure you're working towards your goals each day. I feel like plays a big part in it. Nothing happens overnight unless you're just really, really blessed and lucky. Um, you know, I heard a great quote from Unc Shannon Sharp. He says the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. And like, that's facts. Like, there's no success without work. So every day, just applying yourself, even if it's just a little bit, like this podcast, like, we getting started, but I gotta put the work in, to make it a success. It's not gonna happen overnight. I just gotta keep grinding, and that's what I plan to do. And that's just how, I feel like one should tackle life. Just, striving to aim towards something, whatever it is, taking it day by day, staying balanced, like I said. And, there's going to be ups and downs, but as long as you just keep with it, everything will work itself out. Uh, as far as the second part of that question, for those who are looking towards marriage or who are married, I've only been married for almost a year. It hasn't even been a year yet. It'll be a year next month in June 17th. Shout out to Leah, my wife. Um, and one thing I can honestly say, it's tough, not in a bad way, but it's not as easy as people might think. And it's not as bad as some people might think. Like, I feel like, society does make it seem like, it's this bad thing. But, honestly, it's not. Uh, I feel like the main thing with marriage is the two C's: communication and consistency. I feel like as far as communication, it's important to like communicate always with your partner. If you want to be success, yes, there always going to be love there, especially if you get married, have kids, there's always going to be love there. But, it's important to, if you have expectations, not just project on your partner, but, you know, let your expectations be known and not go crazy, not set any high expectations. Like, I want you to, be this, or like, I want you husband to make 1 million in a year, or you wife, for your body to be snatched in 3 days. Like, that's just not realistic. Marriage takes a lot of patience. Communication is going to need a lot of reassurance. I love you, doing things for your partner, still going on dates. There's like this rule, like the 2-2-2 rule, every 2 weeks, go on a little mini date, keep it fresh. Every 2 months, take a little weekend off, go on a little trip, take a little 3-day weekend. Every 2 years, go on like a long vacation, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it fresh, keep it exciting. That's important. And then consistency, making sure the love is always there. There's gonna be hard times in the marriage for sure. I don't think any marriage has been perfect. Um, but making sure that you consistently, completing the role that you vowed to do, making sure you consistently like show your partner that there is love there, so no doubt can creep into their mind. I feel like it's very important. And to the one that asked that question, I hope I really answered that for you. Um, if you need more insight, the DM's always open, or you can ask another question. We definitely gonna be answering questions like that on here. So get in with me. Um, and then just to look ahead here, this isn't a one-time thing. like I said, this is gonna be it, So lock in with me now, tap in with us now. We're gonna be coming to you weekly, uh, pause, and you know, my goal is to have if you a hoops fan, we're gonna have shows about that. Me and my brother, T Rich, we're gonna be talking about hoops, every week. We're gonna get that set up pretty soon. So if you a hoops fan, and not just Miami Heat, we're gonna talk, all hoops. So whoever your team is, even if it's Boston, you feel me? Like we're gonna talk about Boston. We also, me and my boy, Mr. All In, Mr. Alexander, we're gonna be talking about wrestling with you every week. So if you a wrestling fan, you definitely gonna have to lock in. We definitely gonna be going over that a lot. Give you our takes, our reviews on wrestling, Uh, and then Xander is actually an inspiring wrestler, so give you insight on what it takes to be a wrestler and behind the curtain stuff, all of that for sure. And then also, you know, you guys gonna see a lot of my friends, a lot of my people that be around me. I'm gonna bring them on here. We're gonna have good conversations just about life, pop culture, just everything going on, just catching up. Like I said in the beginning, you guys gonna be hearing stories, crazy stories, hopefully not too crazy, you know. But yeah, we definitely gonna get that going. And it's definitely gonna be a vibe, gonna be a movie, Favi, Bow. Uh and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited, you know, hopefully, you know, I got you guys excited to keep tuning in. And this is the first episode, but we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep getting better. And then if you stick with me, I'm gonna stick with you. And we locked in now for sure. So I just wish you all a good night, and we're gonna be seeing y'all soon. All right.